I started in Pasadena Unified School District in 1993. I had the pleasure of getting to attend Pacific Oaks University, and we had been given different opportunities to go out and do student teaching. And Cleveland Elementary School was one of my locations. And I fell in love. I started teaching kindergarten, and a couple months into it was told I was going to have first graders also. So I got to teach a K1, and that was the time when we only had kindergarten half day. So I was sharing classroom, and interestingly enough, there wasn't a classroom for my first graders. So kind of worked through that. And I guess my purpose in telling you that is that I made sure that our kids were taken care of from the moment I walked into PUSD. And we taught in the custodian's closet. I had 11 first graders. Really came into teaching because I had struggled as a student and really didn't have a teacher who I connected with until college, and didn't have people who wanted to see me through something and didn't really see me wanting to be successful. And I thought, I don't want another kid to feel that way. And so that's kind of been my journey, is every child, every chance, every day. I don't want any child to ever feel that they don't have what they need. So a lot of these leaders pursued my, interests in saying, hey, maybe you need to leave the classroom. Why don't you go be a resource teacher? And so that time came, and I left, and I went to Franklin Elementary and went to become their reading coach and their instructional coach, I guess, at the time. And that was amazing. That was a great opportunity to be a part of a whole nother environment. So I'm on to my third school in PUSD, and just finding that love all over again of why I wanted to stay here in Pasadena. And worked with a great principal there. She gave me a lot of responsibility.
Miss Bermuda.
Yes, Miss Bermudez. And she really was my next reason why I wanted to then go into more leadership roles. And Caroline encouraged me to interview for the principalship for Don Benito. And that was back in 2004, I believe. And so I went for it just to get experience, just to say, hey, let's go see what this is all about. I do not want to be a principal right now, but this may give me some opportunity. And really, quite frankly, had never driven up to see where Don Benito was, but was in the midst of trying to figure that out. And lo and behold, I got the job. I remember saying to the superintendent, Percy Clark at the time, saying, why would you pick me? Why this person who's never been a principal before to lead one of your largest schools? And his reasonings were because he saw, opportunity. He saw, new ideas coming forth, that I had experienced PUSD in a lot of different venues, not just one school setting. So I headed up there, and 3 months later I found out we were pregnant with triplets. So here I was with this, two dreams of mine, getting to become a principal and getting to be a future mom. And so I spent that year, 2004, 2005, as the principal at Don Benito, had my triplets, and then decided to take some time off from that role as a principal. At the time, thinking, oh, I'm going to have these kids, but not thinking I was going to come back. That was never on my mind. I thought I would be able to do it. Like Wonder Woman, right? Like being able to I can manage being a mom, I can manage doing this amazing job here, and it just turned out that I couldn't do both. And I had to make a decision, and it was not a hard decision. I needed to be a mom first, and all those years prior to that, I was a mom of kids, and that was one of the most important. And I always said, if I never get to have my own children, at least I get to do this. This is the next most important thing, is to educate children. So I had my kids in 2005. 2 years later, I got the opportunity to actually be a project director for a wonderful math grant that we got. And I got to work part-time. Yeah, it was awesome. Like, I got to work at home. And some of our best leaders here were my coaches at the time. And we worked with 40 teachers. And so that was the best of both worlds. My kids were with me. They came into this office every single week. They've been born and raised in PUSD. This is all they know. They're very proud of that. And when it came time to truly kind of think about what their purpose was going to be in Pasadena, there was really no better choice than to have them be a part of this family. We are not residents of any of the surrounding cities that PUSD services, but the good works that we were doing, the innovations, the creativity, and just the overall movement of what our teachers were doing, I wanted my kids to experience that. So in 2010, I brought them to Sierra Madre Elementary School. I was back at being principal at Don Benito, and we felt it was really important for them to have their own school. And I could be mom, and I could be a principal. And it was, and they were born and raised, a bobcat, but then became a semi-hawkette or whatever Sierra Madre was. And it was beautiful. It's been a really good experience. They just completed their 6th grade year at Sierra Madre Middle School, and now future 7th graders. And a couple years ago, I guess, in my journey with them, I was asked by Dr. McDonald, at the time he was the chief academic officer, to consider replacing Dr. Arnoya as the assistant superintendent for elementary. And again, one of those moments you just go, why would you pick me? What do you see? What am I not acknowledging? And it really wasn't just, his acknowledgement. It was just many colleagues who brought light to the work that I was doing and felt that I had that experience to bring forth and just enhance the work that we were doing at elementary. What I realized early on in Pasadena Unified was that this was really about a place of innovation and family connections. So in 2014, I sadly left Don Benito. One of the best things I've ever done. I was so proud to be a principal. I was just very grateful to have been a principal, because now coming to a position that I'm in currently, getting to lead people who I love being a part of their lives. I am a former race car driver, so going 140 miles an hour doesn't scare me. I'm one of those people that look for opportunity, but I also look for risk. Are you going to be perfect at every turn? No. But I know that if I don't at least try and fail, I'll never learn. And that's what I want our kids to feel. I want them to know that there should not be a fear of failure. We have a lot to offer. And I remain here because I'm proud of what we do. I love getting to see the change. We have struggles every day, but we have far more successes when we get to see our kids graduate, when we get to see our kids promote. And last week was no exception to that rule. Getting to see beautiful children walk across a stage and be acknowledged for their career in Pasadena Unified School District. That's the reason people need to change their perception about our district. We have people that truly love their education and have chosen to be a part of this family, and others need to see that.